You guys were on Better Call Saul too, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That was so fun. And
I never watched that show. I watched all of Breaking Bad.
I got to season 2, and for some reason, I got to get back to it.
We were
season 3.
3 or 4.
So that was a really good one too. That was like one where basically they wanted 2 people who owned a guitar store, like a music store in Albuquerque.
Right.
And they're like,
perfect for you guys.
2 guys who own do they have to be brothers? They don't have to be brothers. It's just 2 people. And they're bringing in like amazing people. Like Dave Gruber, Allen, you know, remember him, Naked Trucker, and like
just so many great people.
Great people. The problem for them is that they were interviewing or they were auditioning just one. So the casting person had to read Odenkirk's lines plus the other person who owns the store's lines.
Isn't that funny?
Jay and I came in and we're like, all right, we're going to give you your 2 shots.
This is what the scene's going to look like.
Right.
Your 2-shot looking this way, it's going to be us. And we did it, and we kind of found some moments in there, and we had some, even though it's not a very improv-y show, it really isn't. And it was, and they were like, yeah, you got it. We were like, I can't believe we're going to Albuquerque.
You're flying on Friday to Albuquerque.
How long were you there for?
We went twice. We went there and back, and there it was 2 episodes. But what was so cool about it is if you
Tom Schnoz, man, the guy who wrote it and he directed it.
Yeah.
So it's in a guitar shop. So we're sitting half the day. This is the other thing. When you're on a great show, a show that like knows it's great and is respected by its own network.
Yeah.
They're like, we're going to be in this shop shooting this scene today. We've been on other shows where like, we got to get this scene and 4 other scenes.
Yeah.
Because we were up against it. There was no feeling of we're up against it.
We did Glow. Do you remember that show
Glow,
which was amazing and so much fun. And we were shooting a scene like out in Ontario. It was supposed to look like Vegas. It was the year that they went to Vegas, Glow, the wrestling, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling on Netflix.
Male coach.
And and so we were like supposed to be playing tennis. We were like 2 promoters in Vegas who had a room but were like misogynistic and shitty and like terrible to the girls. And Marin and the other guy are trying to like get into our room, like put the ladies of Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling in our room. And we're like, let's play some tennis. We got to the club, played a little tennis. And Jesse Peretz, this is the greatest thing. Who directed Girls. And he's a really good director. He came up to us and he's like, all right, I watched what we shot yesterday with you guys. And he's like, I wrote this thing. I wrote this scene. Let's try and pick it off. It's just you guys talking to them about like
dumb shit
about like a mole you had removed from because of like why aren't you guys wearing sunscreen? And it was just like, it was really a very well written scene.
It's like, just about us being so inane, but them being forced to listen to it because they need something.
Yes.
So them having to listen to it, and it was just great, and it was beautiful. He wrote it for us. We were like,
that's so cool.
And he's like, all right, I want to pick this off. And the AD is like, we cannot do this. We fucking can't do it because we got to move on and we got to do this. And he's like, we're going to do it. We're going to get it. And he's like, just be ready and get it. And we're like, in the 80s, like, we're not fucking doing it, man. We're not doing it. It was like so funny because like, we're not doing it. We don't have the time. We don't have the money.
He's like, just do it. He's like,
do it.
So to us, he's essentially saying, you got to get it.
You got to get
one
it.
or two.
You got to get it in 1 or 2, and then you got to get it.
And so we got it, and they put it in the show. It was the greatest feeling
But
ever.
there was a feeling of
up against the wallness.
Yeah.
This show, Better Call Saul, was like, we're going to hang around. We're going to get this from a million different angles. And as an actor, you start to calm down because you're like, hey, if I screw up a line in this, auditioning is way harder than being in stuff,
God,
by the way.
Yeah.
Auditioning, you get one crack and then
shot.
you split.
Yeah. Maybe you get a second shot if you're like, hey, can I do that again? But like,
for sure. And it's not the same when you don't have like that, the actual person in front of you.
Totally.
The connection. Or,
so like,
hopefully.
Tom Schnoz was like, hey, they just said, just run it with run the scene with Bob. And so like it's a small scene where like the 3 of us are in the Guitar Center and we're just kind of running it, just talking it through in a way of like it just was very
running the lines low key, and then they're like, all right, we got it. We got that part.
Oh.
And so he had put a camera way up at the top, and it was like
a security cam
peering like through guitars down at us. And we didn't realize that became the master shot of the whole thing. And we were so relaxed